Hello guys, today we'll be checking how we can basically allow a communication link between the buyers and the sellers, and this communication link can be on the product pages for each of the respective sellers that are selling those products, and the communication can also be done from the seller's profile page. So I'll be showing you that as well in this video tutorial for the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace buyer seller communication plugin. So all in all, it gives the facility to the customers to communicate with the respective sellers. After the order has been placed, it depends upon whether the feature is enabled or not. The customers can contact the sellers from the order page as well. So before we proceed further and show you the rest of the workflow on the customers and then the vendors and lastly at the admin's end, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So right now you can see that I'm at the storefront for the Magento 2 platform-based marketplace web store by Webkul, and here on the product page you can see that we have this label that says please click the below mentioned contact seller link to contact the seller. So we'll go to the contact seller, and when we hover our mouse over the contact seller, you can see the response rate and the minutes of the response time. Like for example, if you're communicating with him right now, then the response rate is 80%, and within 6 or within 7 minutes there will be a response from the vendor himself. Now to contact or to communicate with this dark black shoe seller, I'll just tap here in the contact seller. So I'm not logged in, so we need to log into our account. Now there are two things: the visitors or the guest users can also communicate with the respective sellers, and different emails are also sent out for each of the function that is there. Like if when we are posting a communication query there, and for the rest of the things as well, the admin, the vendor and the customers also receive the email. So I'll just show you the emails in the last of this particular video. So before that, let's go ahead and tap here in the contact seller. Now this particular form pops up, and here we need to choose the support type, whether you have a query for the pre-sale, a support one, a technical one, or others. So we'll go for the pre-sale, and rest our name and our email is already entered here. And for example, I'll just write it as is it made of leather and how much guarantee does it provide. So we'll be setting this, and I'll set the query as well. So this is just a demo query there, and the customers can also add images. So let me add one image as well of a t-shirt there, and to add more images you can tap here on the add more. To remove, just tap on the remove. Now to send this particular query to the respective vendor, just tap here on the submit button. And as soon as we do this, a mail is also sent out to the customer and to the vendor as well, notifying each that the customer has sent a message or communicated, and the vendor also receives the same. So you can see that on the prompt it says that the message has been sent. Let's tap OK and let's clear it out. So we have communicated with the dark black shoe vendor, and now let's go to the vendor's account panel. So I'll just go here and I'll be accessing the marketplace dashboard of the marketplace vendor. Now here we have the marketplace dashboard on the left hand side, as you can see. And after the successful installation of this buyer seller communication plugin, the vendor will have the my communication history option, as you can see here on the left hand side. And tapping that up brings up the my communication history. So here we'll be able to see what we have already asked. So here you can see that John Doe, the email address, product name is dark black shoe, and we asked is it made up of leather and how much guarantee do you provide. The query status right now is pending. Now it also depends what exact query status has been sent by the set by the admin from the plugin configurations, and according to that, if that particular status is there, then the customers can find the contact us button on the order page as well. So I'll show you that in a while. And the support type we selected was pre-sale, the date and the time, and here you can see that we have attached one attachment there. So that's why this icon has appeared. Now I'll just tap here in the view, link under the actions column, and we'll be able to find the complete details. So this is the query that we made. Is it made up of leather, and how much guarantee that you provide. Support type was pre-sale. The query was regarding the dark black shoe. Here's the date and time and the customer name. This is the query. This is the image that we uploaded. So now we can reply back to the customer, no, it's made up of cotton, and the product actually is a shoe. Okay, and we can basically now choose to set it as still as pending. Otherwise, if we find that we have resolved it, we can choose it resolved, or we can go for the closed as well. So for now, we just set it as resolved, and let's add image, the same image. Just give me a second. So this is just a demo to show you how it works completely. Let's send the message back to the respective customer. So the customers also have this seller communication history under the account panel for the marketplace. The customer account options that we have, within that we have the seller communication history, so the buyers can check the communication history with the respective sellers. So here you can see that we have now made a response. No, it's made up of cotton, and the product actually is a shoe. And here's the image that the vendor had uploaded. Now let's navigate to the customer's account panel, and there we need to go to the seller communication history. And this is how the customer can find the seller communication history. So we had asked for the dark black shoe, whether it's made up of the leather or not, and the status right now is resolved. Pre-sale. Let's tap here in the web link under the actions column. Now this one was what I asked from the vendor, and this is no, it's made up of cotton. From the vendor we have this particular response, and this is the image that the seller has added back. So that was how the communication can be done between a customer and a marketplace seller. So the customers just need to navigate to the respective seller's product or any of the products that are there, tap on the contact button, and send your respective query to the vendor, and the vendor can then respond back. Now let me show you how, for example, if we are placed an order, how we can communicate from that. So if I go to my orders section here for the customer's account panel, let's tap here in the view order for the order number 574, and right now you can see that under the print order there's nothing as such to contact the seller of this particular product. So what I'll do is I'll just go to the backend. Let me go to the backend first, and now I'll navigate through stores and configuration. In a while I'll just show you the configuration part as well, but to show you the section that allows us to set the contact us here as well, for that I'll just show you how we can do that. So on the configuration page here, under the Webkul block, I'll go to the section, let's scroll down. That's the seller buyer communication. So after the installation, the admin will find the seller buyer option there. So from here you can see that we can allow the guest customers to ask the query as well. So I'll choose it as a yes. We can also set the query auto approval as yes. So you just saw we didn't approve it from the admin and it was directly posted there. So we'll set it as a yes, that the query auto approval as no for the time being. So the admin has to approve it manually. Now the order status here is cancelled. I'll set it as pending. Now what will happen is whichever orders are in the pending state, for those the customers will find the contact option here under the print order section. So let's save this configuration, and now I'll also be showing you the guest customer flow there. Now if I refresh this page, you'll see that we'll have a contact us option just under the print order link that we have. So you can see the contact option is now on the order page. I'll tap that. We can fill up the info and send it to the respective seller. So right now we set the auto approval as no, so the admin needs to approve it. So let's go ahead and let me set it as test week 23, and let's tap here in the submit button. Now you can see that this particular query would not be visible to the marketplace vendor. So if I now go to the marketplace vendors section, that's the my communication history. Let's open that up, and this one is the last one that we had made. Now if I go to back to the configuration settings and go to the marketplace management, also kindly note that this particular plugin is an add-on to the Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace by Webkul, so you'll have to have that first, and only after that would you be able to have the marketplace buyer-seller communication. Now here we have the seller buyer communication, and here's the seller buyer communication query list. I'll just tab that up. So here we'll find the complete list of queries that have been asked by the customers, and from here the admin can approve, disapprove any of those from the drop down, and can delete as well. So if I go down, here's the previous one when we had set the auto approval as yes, but now we have set the auto approval as no. So here's the test v23, and you can see that the status right now is disapproved. So I'll just go ahead and I'll approve it, and as soon as it's approved, I'll go to the storefront to show you the same is now visible under the vendors my communication history. So if I scroll down, approved. Now if I go here, we don't have this yet. I'll refresh the page, and then the test v23 is now visible to the marketplace vendor there, and from here he can respond back to the customer's query by entering his message and choosing whether you have resolved it, it's still pending, or closed. So I think you might have understood how we can contact the particular vendor from the order history page as well, when we have set the configuration setting as the order status for that itself. So for that, let me show you once again. If I scroll down to the customers orders, and let's go to the first order that we had, 574. Let's tap here the view order link under the actions column. So here's the contact option for the respective products seller. All right, so that was much about the buyer seller communication, how it can be done. Now let's hop on to the admin backend panel. Let's see the initial configuration settings and the rest of the options available at the admin's end. So I've logged into my admin backend panel for my Magento 2 multi-vendor marketplace by Webkul, and here I'll navigate to marketplace management. So after the successful installation of this particular plugin, you'll have the seller buyer communication query list having the complete details of the queries asked, and from here the admin can what we say as can approve or disapprove any of the seller buyer communication query list from the actions drop down. So to disapprove anyone, I'll just tick that up and choose disapprove, and that would be disapproved and would be removed from the vendor's buyer history there, buyer communication history. So it's disapproved right now. And now if I go back to my to the vendor's my communication history, we'll see that this particular query would have been removed. So you can see the last one is there, but the test v23 is not available. Now let's go back. So this is from where you can navigate to the customer query list at the end. And now to check the initial configurations, we'll navigate through stores and then configuration. On the configuration page under the Webkul block, we'll have the seller buyer communication section. So here's it, and let's go to this section. So from here you can enable the message notification to the admin, whether you want to notify the admin as well of the communication that has been set up between the buyer and the customer. So to enable, choose a yes. To disable, you can choose a no for that. Here's the order status, according to which the customers can find the contact us option on the order page as well when they are checking their order history on that section. So whichever status you have chosen, only as per that would the customers be able to contact back the respective seller. Then we have the query auto approval. Do you want to auto approve? Then choose a yes, otherwise no. And then the admin needs to navigate through this section, go to the seller buyer communication query list and approve the respective query. If you have chosen this as a yes, then it would be automatically approved. Otherwise, to manually approve, choose it as a no. You can also allow the guest customers to ask the queries, and you can also choose to send the mail from the seller's email ID. So you choose no. From the admins, if you want, you can choose it as yes. Then for the admins, you'll have to set your admin's email ID here under the marketplace section. If you choose a no for this, so here, and this would be then used to send the emails to the respective ones. Now let's go back to the seller buyer communication. Now we also have certain transactional emails there that are sent out accordingly. So ask query mail notification to customer regarding the product. So as soon as you're posting a query, a mail is sent out to you. So you can check these for more better understanding in the description below. I've added the user guide, the live demo link as well. So kindly go through that. Now let me show you the guest thing. So for that, I'll just go to the storefront. I'll log out of my vendor account, and then I will go to the dark black shoe. For example, dark black shoe, and then we'll be asking the query black shoe to the respective vendor. So you can go to any of the products there, and for the respective products we can directly contact the respective vendor. So you can see that I've not logged in, it still says sign in. I'll go and I'll just tap here in the contact seller. I'll choose pre-sale. I'll choose my name, for example test 123. I'll have to choose my email address. So for now I'll just choose my email address, and I'll enter my test subject and the query, and I'll just tap here in the submit button. You'll see that the guest customer can also send this, and this would be visible in the backend as well. So now if I go to the vendor account, let's sign into the marketplace vendor account. Then I'll go to my communication history there. So let's go to my account, and on the left hand side, let me scroll down. Here's the my communication history, and here's the alright, because we have chosen the auto approval as no. So first of all, I'll have to go ahead and approve this guest query. So I'll go to the seller buyer communication query list, and there I'll find this particular one that has been asked by the guest. So let it load up. So here you can see the test subject, dark black shoe, test 123. It's disapproved by it's the guest, so I'll make it as approved. I'll go back to the seller section. That's the my communication history, and let me refresh the page once. And here you can see the customer name as guest, his email ID, and the rest of the details as well. Now let me show you the emails in the last, how they appear, and for that I'll just take you to my email inbox. So this is the guest email. Guest, thank you for your query. We'll be replying to you shortly. Now for the registered users. So here for the customer, you can see that a reply mail has come from the seller. Actually this is for the customer whenever the seller is making a query back, and the customers can tap here to the particular conversation. Now the other one that we have, let me open that up, give me a second for that. So this was the first one to the customer that the seller has replied for the query. This is to the customer when he has posted the query. So here you can see the same. Here's the mail to the admin that a customer asked a query to the seller, the customer name, email, and the product name. And within the mail as well, you can see that the seller had attached an image, and that is also available here within the mail itself. So that was much about the Magento 2 Multimedia Marketplace buyer seller communication plugin, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow of the same. And one more thing from the seller profile, how the customers can contact the seller is that by going to their profile page. I'll just go to the Shopper Smart here, and And here on the Shopper Smart homepage, let it come up. We have this option here for the contact to the seller. If I tap that up, the same respective window comes up to contact or to communicate with the respective seller there. So that was much about the plugin itself, and I hope it helped you out in understanding the flow of the same. If you still have any questions, queries, suggestions, or requirements, then kindly do get back to us at support@webkul.com or easy to get at webkul.uvdesk.com. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.